Georgia State License 2914013.
What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? It's Thursday, and Savage Talk with Keefa is back. Y'all know I came to see you. I came to talk to you. So I hope you came to listen, and I hope you came with your listening ears on today. But first things first, you can tune in Savage Talk with Keefa. We are streaming live on YouTube. And look, I want y'all to chime in because the things I'm going to be talking about tonight, this evening, you definitely want to hear. So streaming on YouTube, also on Facebook, you can type your questions, your comments in. I will not miss any questions, any comments. And you could also download the app 101 TKO Radio, knocking them out the box always and always. So Savage Talk with Keefa. Let's get to it. Now, look, you guys. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about toxic traits. In fact, 29 traits of a person that will indicate that you are toxic. Now, let me tell you why this is important. You know, I am always talking about collaboration in partnerships. How do you know if you're toxic? Well, it's usually other people that's saying so-and-so's toxic. They may not be telling you, but it's other people. So why is that important? Because other people make up the collaborations in the partnerships. It can be a marriage. It can be your best friend. It can be your co-workers, your family. You know, think of all the relationships in your life. And I want you to think about those folks' perspective of you, not your own perspective of yourself. Because the reality is, if you ask me if I'm toxic, I'm going to tell you H to the no. H to the no. But that's my desire. But see, I am human, and there's certain things that's going to trigger me. Now, I ain't saying I ain't working on them because I believe in personal development and personal growth. But if you catch me on the wrong day, at the wrong time, in the wrong place, I'm going to go toxic and I'm going to cut your head off. I'm going to take your head off. Okay, we all have that. I'm just being honest. Okay, I'm being honest. I'm dropping it like Cat Williams today, y'all. So y'all already know. I cannot tell no lies. Right? Okay, look, if anybody knows Cat Williams, I'm still trying to get him to Atlanta so we can see him while the hype is still hot. The block is hot. The hype is hot. We need to see Cat Williams on stage, and he could drag along Shannon Sharp too to be the announcer. But toxicity. Let me tell you why this came up. Because I had an incident with my husband the other day. So if you've never heard me say this before, what is a husband? That's a husband that is a used to be. That means divorced. The husband. Okay? The ex-husband. I don't say ex-husband. I say the husband. Because I'm putting it in the universe that is behind me. That's behind me. I don't say ex-husband because ex means less than, but still attached to you. And I need my universe to be for me. And my husband is the past. And I'm looking toward my future and manifesting my future. And there's no place for an ex-husband there. There's place for the new future husband. Y'all hear me on that? So look, that's a new term if you ain't heard it before. The was then. I had an incident with my husband. So I said, you know what? When it all went down, I thought to myself, this joker. Now, you know, I'm using Joker, but you can fill in the words. What you fill in the words that you use. This no. Then lost his you know what mind. You fill in those blanks. And I thought, doggone, if this ain't toxic, I don't know what is. And so that's really where this came about. I wanted to talk about what are the things that make a person toxic. Now there's lists out there, you guys. There's lists. And the reason why this is important is because people that are toxic or have toxic traits, a lot of times aren't even aware of it. Really, they're not even aware of their toxicity. Or maybe they waffle that toxicity between mild to acute. Okay, y'all know the difference? You ever been to the doctor? They say you got a mild case of XYZ. Or if you one of the unlucky ones, you have an acute case. That means we have to operate, right? Like appendicitis. When people get appendicitis, it's usually acute, which means that appendix blows up and they end up in so much excruciating pain, they have to go to emergency to have immediate surgery. So some people's level of toxicity is acute to where you cannot even be around them in their presence. Because if you are, either y'all gonna be fighting, somebody gonna be going to jail, somebody gonna get cussed out, lose business. But in acute cases, what happens is something drastic. And typically in those acute cases, we have some regrets. Dog, I wish I would have just left. Right? So in an effort to understand our own personal growth and development, knowing some of these traits, we know how to deal. That's what tonight's show is going to be about. What are these traits? Who in your life exhibits these traits, especially if they're triggers to you? Some people are toxic, but it may not faze you because that's not one of your triggers. But you know what happens in grown and sexy folks' relationships? We all have triggers. Because when you're grown and sexy, that means you may have been married and divorced. You probably have kids. You probably didn't have people cheating on you. You probably didn't have squabbles over money. All of the things that make people angry or toxic or scared. So if you are somebody that has one or more of these toxic traits I'm going to talk about, and you get with somebody that's got one or more of those toxic traits that I'm going to be talking about, listen, y'all might be fighting. You know who immediately comes to mind is Krishan Rock and Blueface, right? What about Black China and Tokyo? What her mama? Is it Tokyo China? So there's certain people that come to mind when we think toxicity. But see, what about the people now who are not famous, but what about the people who secretly seethe and are jealous of you and are envious of you? They're not cussing you out, but they secretly harbor jealousy and spite for you. Yeah, oh yeah, I used to tell my husband that all the time. You cannot stand to see me successful without you. That's a real thing, you guys. A lot of people in this world do not want to see you successful. And sometimes they don't even have to say, I hope you fail. I mean, who says that? Nobody. But see, that secret spite, that secret hate, that secret jealousy. Ooh, that eats at you even more. See, I would rather somebody come to me and just say, look, I hope you fall on your face. Because now I know where you stand. And I can say, thank you for your input. Stay and watch what happens. Yeah, because see, I like that. I have zero problems with people not believing in me. Zero. Because you know why? God created me, and that's all I need. Yes, God created me. That's all I need. So I know my worth. I know what I can do. So I don't need no husband to believe in me. I don't need no husband to be a cheerleader. I don't need a husband to campaign on my behalf. Heck, you're gonna cause people to not want to do business with me. You're going to cause people to not want to celebrate with me, because that toxicity that you think you're hiding behind by secretly hating and secretly being spiteful, that energy you cannot hide. Your face may be smiling, but that energy is frowning and mad and angry. And the universe, see, when the universe speaks, it ain't no stopping it. That's what I see. And that's what I hear when I hear people say your true colors. See, that true color is your energy. Your true energy, you cannot hide it, no matter how much you smile and try to fake the funk. That energy is going to tell on you all the time. So these toxic traits. Number one, you always criticizing somebody. Now, there's a difference between offering up constructive criticism and just being critical. Okay? Take this hat off, y'all. Oh, you like my hat? I did something different today so I can match it up with my lipstick. Hold on. So, you guys, look. Always criticizing people. So this is what I want you to do, because if I line up 50 people and say, do you criticize people? Probably at least 45 of them is going to say no. There might be 5 that say yes, but they'll say yes, but come with an excuse. Do you criticize people? That means, are you just talking about what they doing or what they not doing? Out when they're not in your presence, you always got something to say about what somebody else is doing. Meanwhile, your life is in shambles. See, criticizing is not going to help you feel better about yourself if you're not doing what you're supposed to do. A lot of people, that's why they criticize. And sometimes it's in their blind spot. They're totally unaware that they are just criticizing people because they need to feel valued and lift themselves up and feel better about what they're doing or not doing. Sometimes criticizing, it don't have to be verbal. You ever have friends that don't want to do stuff with you if they're not doing the best, if they don't make the most money, if their hair is not looking the best, if they're not the fittest, if they don't feel like they are on top of you in some form or fashion, they don't want to fool with you. See, that's toxic. That's toxic. And that's being critical in silence. See, they're making judgments, but they're not verbalizing it, but they're still making judgments. And we can feel that energy when it happens to us. I'm sure many of y'all can relate to that. Right? So always criticizing people. What do they call that? Like sideline quarterbacking? You know all the plays, Oh, they should listen. I swear, this is kind of funny because since this is Atlanta in Georgia and youth sports, and in particular, I'm going to talk about youth football, is so big. Now, my son's play football. He plays football. Some of these parents be coming to these football games and they be in the bleachers screaming at the top of their lungs at the coaches, at the kids, and USC this and you that blah blah blah. And I'm telling you, look, they couldn't run one play if they got out there on the field before they out of breath. All of that criticizing, nothing good to say. Listen, if y'all don't know, being a youth coach, that's one of the hardest doggone jobs ever because you got to deal with these parents and them criticizing you, what you doing and what you're not doing. So that's what we're going to be talking about this evening on Savage Talk with Keefa. We setting it off, okay? Toxic traits. I'm going to share this with you so you don't end up being toxic your whole life if you are on this list. I'm Keefa. This is 101 TKO Radio, Savage Talk with Keefa. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Don't you go nowhere. How can I? What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Savage Talk with Keefa is back. Yeah. So thank y'all for sticking around after the break. We are talking toxic traits, behavior, ways of being. Okay. When I say behavior and how we act, what I'm talking about is how you show up in the world, ways of being in the world that are toxic. Number two, here's the other thing. You engage in toxic behavior by being manipulative, right? Guilt tripping. You ever tried to guilt trip? Now I know kids do that, but see, that's what kids are supposed to do because they have a limited set of skills that they have access to because they have not learned. So trying to guilt trip, that's toxic. We expect that from children. Oh, mom, if you don't take me, listen, if I don't have a PlayStation, I can't play with my friends and I'm going to be lonely. You said you wanted me to be more social. But see now, let's say your boyfriend says, oh, honey, look, you just hung out with your girlfriends 2 days ago. When you gonna have time for me? You said you wanted our relationship to get better. How's it gonna get better if you ain't never here? Okay, y'all know y'all didn't heard that before. I ain't making this up. That's guilt tripping and manipulation. That's toxic. And that will cause resentment in a relationship. Now, see, that's what I just showed you is grown people doing childish things. That is toxic. Grown people doing childish things, manipulation, guilt tripping. I'm going to tell you guys where I see a lot of this. Y'all know I'm in the fitness industry. Now check this out because this is deep. You got two people that are overweight and they together, they love each other. One person starts their weight loss journey and they start getting thin. They working out in groups. I'm telling you, I didn't see this. They working out with groups. They trying to go to the gym every day. And then one partner hasn't made no changes. But here's what they say. You going to the gym again? I thought you was on the 3-day-a-week plan. Or, oh, we not going to get pizza no more? You know, no, I'm following my meal plan my coach gave me. Oh, well, how long you going to be doing that? Now, I can tell y'all for a fact that is a real thing. It is the same thing that happens with people who do drugs together and one person gets clean. This is what happens. The other person, that toxic nature comes out because they have a fear of losing their partner. Fear causes grown people to be toxic. And I'm saying a lot of times they have no awareness of this. That's why I say it's in their blind spots. I expect this behavior from children. Again, they have limited resources to work with in a relationship. My daughter's 11. I expect her to pull out the guilt trips. I do. I expect her to because she's 11. That's all. That's the only way she knows how to get her way. But when you're grown, you got to check yourself. You got to check yourself. Who you guilt tripping? And why you guilt tripping them? You don't want them to leave you? You scared to be by yourself? You scared that when they gone, maybe that child support check is not going to be the same, all that money you was getting. See, different things that people are afraid of fuel different toxic behaviors. Ain't none of them good. You want to know why? Y'all know what I say, because it's not truth. It's not authentic, and it's not transparent. And if your desire is to manifest all of the things in your life that are for you that you want, that can only come through truth, authenticity, and transparency. That's it. It ain't no other ways. You cannot manipulate your way to success. Look at Pitty Diddy. Now, see, if he was manipulating artists, manipulating women to sleep with him, and manipulation was the tactic, look at him now. See, things look a certain way from the outside, but truth is truth. You cannot stand on success if you got it through manipulation and tyranny. It doesn't work, because eventually the people are going to rise up. That's how it is. And we all been the people in different situations where you have said, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm going to take whatever consequence is coming, but I ain't going to let you manipulate me. I ain't going to let you guilt trip me no more. See, that's why I got a husband. Okay, I'm telling y'all today, listen, y'all, okay, y'all can give me my flowers like Cat Williams, because I'm dropping some truth today. Yes, toxic trait to shine. Get that popcorn for real, because that's what we talk in this show. And you know what? I am only on number 2. I'm only on number 2. And I swear on God, I didn't had these people in my own life. And I started with the incident with my husband, who I believe got all 29. Okay, he got all 29. All right, so look, the next one is, and I kind of touched on this, because these weave together. Fear causes lots of things. And so some of these traits are going to cross. Now, the next one, jealousy and envy. But why do people get jealous and envy? See, fear. They are afraid that it's not enough to go around. That's the opposite of an abundant mindset. You cannot have an abundant mindset and be jealous of nobody. You cannot. They do not go together. They cannot exist together. When you have an abundant mindset, your abundance means that you want abundance for everybody. You cannot be jealous of someone else's abundance and say you have an abundant mindset. In fact, if you're jealous, you toxic, baby. You toxic. And I'm going to tell you something else. A lot of that toxic jealousy and envy is in marriages. Men be jealous of their women's success. Women be jealous of their man's success. Women be jealous of their man's charisma. Men be jealous of their women's charisma. What happened to you got married to be on the same team? I'm telling you, fear causes these toxic traits to surface in relationships with children and parents. Listen, here go another one. Check this out. Since I got a husband, anybody that has to deal with someone else's children. See, children get jealous. Children get envious. They don't want you taking their parent. Why do they get like that? Because, see, they have a fear of what their life is going to be like with the new person in the picture. That's real, y'all. It's toxic. Now, remember I said I expect toxic behavior from children, because that's all the children know. But you know what happens? The husbands, they get jealous and envious too. They get jealous and envious too of the new people, right? The ex-wives and the ex-husbands. See, when you were single, they can come get the kids whenever they wanted to. They can do this, they can do that. Sometimes you show up to this event, sometimes you show up to that event, and it ain't a big deal. But guess what? Now you got somebody new. And that toxic behavior starts showing up. The husbands and the wives, now they are afraid that their access to you will no longer exist because you got a new person in your life. That's real, y'all. That's real. So that jealousy and that envy creeps out. Even when they're trying to pretend like everything is all good. Oh, everything is good, but look, let one thing happen. Let you pick up the kids late. Or let you show up to an event with your new person. All heck breaks loose. Toxic behaviors. Toxic behaviors. And you know what? This is the world we live in. People are in these relationships every day. Every day, day in, day out, dealing with this toxic behavior. And we're just getting started. Jealousy and envy, which is crazy. Now, remember, I always say, anytime I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to myself. I always got to check myself because I believe in personal development and personal growth. And I know that my manifestation powers for my own life cannot be fully realized unless that which I seek, I am to the world first. So what does that mean, Keefa? What that means is, if I wish to be around people who do not harbor jealousy and envy, I got to show up in the world first, not harboring jealousy and envy. I've got to first be the one to cut all toxic behaviors. And first is awareness, being aware when the feelings come up. And since I know through my own personal growth and development, it is fears that trigger these toxic behaviors and traits, I practice accepting what am I afraid of, bring it to top of mind, and really look at, is this real or is this fake? Is this something, a situation where I'm bringing my past to my future? Oh, I'm always doing checks on myself. Next one, you always causing drama. Now, people that's always causing drama will tell you they don't cause drama. They call it like it is. But see, sometimes you don't need to call nothing. It just is what it is. You ain't got to call on nothing. The people that feel like they always have to chime in on something, comment on something, is causing drama. You're causing drama. Sometimes sit back, listen, and just take what you want and let go of what you don't want. You don't always have to add input to something. That's causing drama. And I know. I'm not causing drama. I'm just answering the question. So and so asked me. You know what? They didn't ask for your opinion. They may have asked a question, but they didn't ask for your opinion or your perspective. And sometimes, even when people come to you with stuff, you don't have to engage in it because they bring in their toxic behavior to you, drama, and here you are, you adding to it. So both of y'all just being toxic together, and neither one of y'all can grow from that. That's right. Yes, yes. Okay. Experience the jealousy from my girl, the husband. Child jealousy in a grown. I'm telling you, listen, I could write a book on this. This is why, to shine, you have got to say husband. That's in the past. But I'm telling you, sometimes the wases are the worst. Okay? So we're going to take a break after that. But look, y'all write that down. The wases are the worst. Savage Talk with Keefa. We'll be right back.
I love you. 4, 3, 2, and
What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? We're back. Savage Talk is back. Yeah, I was trying to go to the beat a little bit, y'all. So look, the next one on the list, toxic people. Yeah, I just had a toxic phone call. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna skip one and I'm gonna get right to this one. You refuse to take responsibility for your actions. You refuse to take responsibility for your actions. Now let's talk about this one. Because we know people that will just say, oh, well, that ain't my fault. Ain't nothing ever their fault. Nothing is ever their fault. There are some people, it does not matter. I mean, look at Donald Trump. Look at Donald Trump. Look at the insurrection when all of those people stormed the Capitol. I mean, and that was crazy. They stormed the Capitol, broke in, threatening people, tearing stuff up at Donald Trump's leadership because he told them. Remember on Tuesday, I talked about Donald Trump and his marketing tactics and how he has built a loyal tribe that will actually take action, and that we need to look at what he did and do the same thing for our businesses. So he did a speech. And he told those people, we need to go up to the Capitol and take over that place, or whatever it is he said. I can't quote it exactly because he said a lot of stuff. But what I can tell you is he said it at a third grade level, and they understood the task, and they did it. And some of them then went to jail, and they out, and they still supporting Donald Trump. You think those people that got arrested for that insurrection turned into Democrats? Heck no. Heck no. But Donald Trump does not take responsibility for anything in his life. When he had all of those classified documents at the crib, you know what he said? Look, I was the president. I should be able to just think a document unclassified. And it's unclassified. For real, for real. The nerve and the gumption. So he didn't take responsibility. He justified it. Do you know people like that? They have a reason and an excuse for everything. They will not take responsibility. That's what politics is, y'all. That's what politics. Look at the issue we having at the borders. You know, Sleepy Joe Biden, he won't claim responsibility. He won't claim responsibility. The Republicans won't claim responsibility, but they'll blame. So politics is all toxic, y'all. Politics is toxic. That's why the saying goes, if you really want to help people, don't get into politics. Don't be a politician if you really want to help people. Because the only ones that are in politics, and there's some, I shouldn't say all, but the thing is, if you get into politics, you are part of the greater system of politics. It's very difficult to come into a system that has been running for hundreds of years. And I don't mean running in a good way, running in the good old boy system way. The fake them out, dog and shoney po way. Make you feel like you're getting something when you're really getting screwed. That's politics. So even if and when you're a politician that really, really wants to do good, is very difficult because you're part of a bigger system that is toxic. In politics, politicians do not take responsibility for their actions. Think about lawyers. Lawyers be defending these people they know doggone well is guilty. They on camera. It's eyewitnesses. But it is so many lawyers. I mean, God, and we in Atlanta. Every hour, a lawyer commercial come on. People call lawyers before they call the police. Don't get an offender bender. They're going to be calling 411 pain before they call the police. Why? Because lawyers learn to defend you. And what's the defense? You're not taking responsibility for your actions. They're the kings and the queens of it. Not guilty. Your Honor, my client pleads not guilty. Not because they didn't do it. Yeah, we know they on camera. But my client has a mental illness and was unaware of what they did. See, it's always reasons and excuses to not take responsibility. Now, look, y'all, that's America. You can't go to them other countries with that lawyer stuff. They're going to line you up in front of the firing squad. You don't even have to be on video. If the right person say they saw you stealing something, you're going to be lined up in front of the firing squad and they're going to blow your head off. Oh, and they're going to be excited to do it. For real. For real, for real. Or they're going to line you up and they're going to chop your head off. Or they're going to chop your arm off. Or they're going to chop your genitals off. Or, listen, y'all, I'm not making this up. This happens in other countries. They don't deal with these lawyers that's shucking and jiving. You know what I'm saying? And coming up with all of these reasons for you not to get convicted of a crime that you clearly committed. Look, y'all, now I loved me some Johnny Cochran. And you know, every Black person in the world celebrated when OJ got off. Okay? If it don't fit, you must acquit. For real. Okay, look, Jewel. Negativity and criticism, manipulation and control, dishonesty and betrayal, all have been identified as main characteristics associated with toxic behavior. Which category do I despise most? Oh my God. Now that's a good one. Because you know what? This is what's crazy. Remember I said these overlap? Now, in relationships, and for this, Jewel, I'm going to say romantic relationships. Romantic relationships expose us in so many different ways to the degree that negativity, criticism, betrayal, dishonesty, all of those toxic traits you mentioned can be wrapped up in that one relationship. I've seen it. I've been in it before. As I said, this is why I have a husband. So when you ask me which I despise the most, I despise all of them. And typically, when a person has one, they have more than one, especially in a romantic relationship. Some of them go hand in hand. Because see, if they're dishonest to you, if they didn't cheated on you, they betrayed you. That's toxic. They betrayed you. So they're being dishonest. And when you know your gut feels that that person betrayed you and you bring it up, then they guilt trip you. Then they're going to guilt trip you. Well, let me see your phone. You be talking to such and such and this and that. So what you saying? I can't do that. So one of those causes the other ones as well. They all tied in together. They're all bad. They're all bad. And you know what? When any one or all of them exist, I don't like none of them. But typically that can only happen in romantic relationships, because to fall in love with someone and to really, really be with someone, you have to expose yourself on multiple levels. Love, your heart, your finances, your physical. So we can open ourselves up so much to the point that on all of those levels, if we're with someone who is toxic, we can internalize every one of those traits you mentioned. Someone's dishonest with us, they've betrayed us, they manipulate us, and then when I was ready to stand up and say I'm done, then try to control us, try to overpower us, make us feel less than. That's all manipulation. And that's refusing to take responsibility for actions. So I despise them all because they all signal a weakness in a person's character. And a man that I am with, his character has to be rock solid. That means authentic and transparent, the good, the bad, the ugly. That way we can manifest our lives together. But it can't happen if he's got those toxic traits. And I'm telling you, those toxic traits in romantic relationships can destroy the relationship and destroy you. I mean that on God. They can destroy you. So you've got to have discernment. You've got to have awareness. So the next one on the list, they don't know how to communicate. Oh, God. Listen, y'all, this one's fire right here. They don't know how to communicate. I remember years ago, I had a boss. Not only was he micromanaging me, it was to the point where I didn't want to show up to work because he was so critical. And the thing was, he was critical about the things he was supposed to train me on. Now, if that ain't toxic, you mad at me for not doing something you didn't train me how to do because you don't know how to do it. And when I ask you, can we set up a time so that we can go over this together? He would tell me, you need to go figure this out. Now, he didn't know how to communicate. Sometimes he would walk over to my desk and say, well, what's this you doing? Why are you doing that? And I would have to look up and say, well, what do you mean, sir? Because I believe I'm doing my job. Now, what do you see? Years ago, I will tell you about another situation. Years ago, I worked in a call center. And this is when DSL lines was all the rage. And every telecommunications company was trying to get all the subscribers to get on DSL. Right before Wi-Fi, all of that. It was DSL, digital subscriber lines. And I worked in a call center. And it was so busy. It was so busy. They were just hiring managers who didn't have no experience, didn't know how to talk to people. They were hiring people to work in the call center who didn't know how to talk to people. And here we all are, we're doing customer service in the call center. When I tell y'all, I used to hear some of the craziest stuff being told to customers. Well, if you don't know how to boot up your computer, what you expect me to do? Yeah, this is how some of the employees would talk to the customers. And then the managers would talk to us the same way. And then they would tell us it's a mandatory work through lunch. And if anybody raised their hand to say, well, that's not legal. Listen, y'all, I was in California. I told y'all I'm from the Bay Area. When we raise our hand to say, well, I don't think OSHA says you can do that. OSHA, ASHA, y'all know what I'm talking about. They're printed up rules on the board that says what you can and can't do. This is what was happening. These people did not know how to communicate. So this is the question I'm going to ask you. How do you know if you're a good communicator or a great communicator? How do you know? One of the number one signs, well, listen, y'all don't go nowhere. We're going to take a quick break. And I'm going to tell you how you know if you're one of the great communicators. You're listening to Savage Talk with Keefa. We'll be right back after the break.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? Savage Talk is back, and we are talking toxicity. So before the break, I posed a question. How do you know if you're on the good side of communication? How do you know? Well, one of the number one ways you know is you listen and you're not running your mouth. You cannot be an effective communicator if you always the one talking. Oftentimes, and I'll tell you, I make it a point when I'm talking to someone, I talk to them, I look them in the eye, and I don't break looking them in the eye because I'm serious about what I'm saying. And the reason is, see, I am manifesting my life, and people that are in front of me that I'm in relation with, it doesn't matter who it is, clients, romantic, children, all relationships where I am communicating. Look them in the eye and listen. Listen, look them in the eye. That's one of the top things that make people great communicators. You need to know what's going on the other side. You need to be able to feel the energy of that person. Are they looking for a listening ear? Are they looking for support? Are they looking for guidance? Are they looking for leadership? Are they looking for empathy? How you gonna know any of that if you talking? Really, let me tell you something, y'all. In relationships, and I want you to think about this in your own relationships. People love to be with people that when they're in their presence, they feel great about themselves. So I'm going to repeat that again in another way. With romantic relationships, see, I love to be with a man that makes me feel good about myself. And I don't mean based on him doing something. I mean his energy. When I fit in his energy and I love life, I love my life in his life, that's what I want. And we can only know that through listening. We can only know that through listening. I need to listen and know where this man's energy is. That's how I know if mine fits. So being a great communicator means you need to be a great listener. You got to be a great listener. Now, next on our toxic list. Oh, okay. So I missed the question. What do I think are underlying factors, the real reasons why people are prone to different categories and different degrees of toxicity? So I was saying earlier, fear. Now, fear has a spectrum, and it all goes back to our childhood. The truth is, our parents, in most cases, they just did the best they can. They did what they knew. 100% of the time, they mess us up. I promise you, it's not on purpose. That's just the design of being human. That's the design of being human. As human beings, when we get hurt, we want to protect. And we carry that fear throughout our lives, and we take it from relationship to relationship to relationship. And we're always looking for the greener grass, when in fact, it never was about the grass anyway. It's about the lesson we're supposed to get. So fear has spectrums. And the more we experience as adults, the more things we learn to be afraid of. As a child, we learn the basic things. We're scared to go in the street when a car is coming. We're scared to touch the stove when the fire is on or the oven's on. These are things we learn to be afraid of. We learn fire is hot. But see, also, we learn to be afraid of abusive parents. We learn to be afraid of men and women that sexually assault us. All of the things, as we experience things, as we go through life, we start piling on new fears and new fears and new fears. And every fear has something that we learn to do to protect ourselves. And those are the toxic behaviors. That's why I say a lot of times the toxic behaviors are in someone's blind spot. That fight or flight kicks in and they start manipulating you because they feel like you're getting in too good of a shape. You're probably going to find somebody skinnier, more beautiful, and probably want to leave me. So I got to shut that down. And I got to tell you, no, well, you don't look like you lost much weight. I think you're wasting your money. You probably need to cut them off and just start going to Planet Fitness. So these are things. It's a spectrum. It's a spectrum. Sometimes it can be acute, like PTSD. A lot of veterans that have been in war have toxic traits. A lot of veterans that haven't been in war, but they've just been in the military and been indoctrinated to follow other people's rules and orders and not think on their own, have toxic behaviors. Because it's fear. I have a fear that if you leave me, I'm not going to know what to do in my life because I've been used to people telling me what to do. I have a fear of loud sounds. I have a fear of people standing too close to me because I've been stabbed out of the blue by someone who was standing next to me, in line at Walmart or whatever. I'm making this stuff up, but this is real stuff. So depending on the degree of fear and the degree of lack of investment in personal development or awareness, that is going to dictate the degree of the toxic behaviors. And y'all know I ain't no therapist, but I always say, look, I'm waiting on my PhD in the mail. Somebody better send me a PhD because I'll be dropping some knowledge, y'all. This is me talking. This is me talking through experiences, working with people, experiences in my own life, and having a desire to live my life deeply enriching and deeply authentic and transparent. That means even in my own life, I have got to address toxic behaviors when they come up. I cannot pretend like I don't understand or I don't need to change something because see, I know enough to know that if my life is not manifesting the way that I want it to manifest, it's because it's something I'm not putting in the world. Like I say, I got to first give that what it is I want to receive. So when I want to be loved, I first have to be loved to other people. When I want abundance financially, I first have to be abundant and share with people. I can't be stingy with my energy. So dealing with toxic behaviors really is dependent on how willing you are to expose your own blind spots, weaknesses, and tend to them. So I hope that answers your question. It's a spectrum. People are in different places, just like autism, just like PTSD, just like athleticism, just like, technical abilities, different abilities. There's always a spectrum. Some people are on the very proficient end, and some people are on the not so proficient end. So I hope that answers your question. Now, another one on the list And I've been told Virgos, we top the chart at this one. Okay, y'all ready? How many Virgos out here? I know I have a lot of Virgos in my life. And I swear, I could say it's every other Virgo except me. But then I would be doing just like this list say. I ain't going to cop to my own toxicity. Now, this one is holding grudges. Do you hold grudges? I promise you, y'all, there's some adults who were bullied as children, and they never, ever, ever have forgotten it. And every day they think about how they gonna get back at that person or what they shoulda, woulda, coulda did. That's holding a grudge. And when you hold the grudge holds you. What you don't let go of, don't let go of you. That's a fact, y'all. That's a fact. We all have stuff that happened to us in our childhood we ain't ever forgot. And sometimes we think, man, if I had an opportunity to run into this person or that person, I would probably do X, Y, Z or whatever it is. Holding a grudge does nothing for anybody but keep you in bondage. Oh, did I just make up a word? Y'all know I didn't say the right word. Y'all know what I mean. Keep you bound. And I mean mentally and spiritually. That's the worst type of bondage to be in. Mental and spiritual bondage. Man, you want to know why that's the worst place to be? Because see, when you are mentally and spiritually bound to something negative, oftentimes you don't ever even see it. It's that monkey on your back. It rears its ugly head every time success comes up. That monkey on your back says, wait a minute. Don't forget about when you was 10. You remember when this looks like something I've been seeing before. Don't forget about that. That monkey on your back, that grudge can kill your hopes, can kill your dreams. And I'm going to tell y'all even more important, that grudge can kill your children's hopes and dreams. Do y'all hear me? It ain't just you. Everything you doing to and for yourself, you doing to and for your children. So when you don't let go of that abusive relationship you was in, and as a result, you hold a grudge against these men, against these women, what you think your children gonna do? They gonna grow up with a fear. They ain't even gonna understand the fear. But you know what? They gonna repeat that cycle. So you can't hold no grudge. When people do something bad, they didn't talk smack about you. You ain't this, you ain't that, you this, you that. You gotta just have it in your mind, like I say, just sit back and watch. See, I ain't gonna hold no grudge, but I'm gonna do the thing. And I'm gonna make sure I do it so you see it. And you can say whatever you want. But I repeat, how do you spot the pioneers? Because they the ones with all the arrows in their back. Yeah, people chasing them, trying to catch them. They don't want you to do what you're doing. They don't want you to do it before them. They don't want you to do it bigger than them. They holding on to, I got to be on top. I got to be first. They holding on a grudge against you because you done did something before them. What you don't let go of won't let go of you.
Say that again.
What you do not let go of, it ain't gonna let you go either. And what does that mean? You're gonna be stuck. You're gonna be bound. in bondage. And that bondage will be invisible to you. It will be in your blind spot. Some of us are in bondage right now. Can't understand. Why can't I get past this next step? Well, see, you've missed the lesson. And you know what? When you miss a lesson, it's going to keep coming up until you get it. You can move to a new city. You can move to a new state. You can get a new job. You can get a new boyfriend. You can get a new girlfriend. Your kids can grow up. You can get new jobs. You can get new. But it's still the same old grudge. And you still didn't get the lesson. The lesson is for you, irrespective of where you are, who you with, what you're doing. The lesson is going to come up with different boyfriends, different girlfriends, whatever. I'm going to expound on that when we come back. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Savage Talk with Keefa on 101 TKO Radio.
And
What's up? What's up? What's up? We're back. Savage Talk with Keefa is back. Yeah, we into our last 30 minutes, y'all, and this list is good. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't even halfway through this list. Because, we human. That means by nature, we messed up. We're messed up by design. Man, imagine if we bought computers and we had to program them and do all of that stuff after we actually got the computer home. See, that's the human being. It's backwards. We're born perfect, and then we mess our lives up as we go on. It's supposed to be the other way around. We're born perfect, and then we mess our lives up. So I was talking about getting those lessons. And if you don't get the lesson, you can't move away to get the lesson. All of the stuff that we attempt to do in our human minds, moving away. It's a reason why people end up with the same type of boyfriend, the same type of girlfriend. It's the same problems as last time. Well, the first one cheated on you, the second one cheated, the third one cheated. Why is everybody cheating on you? Why are you having the same problems with everybody? See, there's lessons that we are supposed to get. But instead of getting our lessons, we point the finger at the other people. That's the truth. That's a fact. We pointing the finger at the other people. Now, it doesn't mean that they ain't wrong. Y'all both can be wrong together. And it really ain't even about being wrong. It's about you getting your lesson. So you can move on to the next stage of your life, the next stage of your transformation. How you going to get there? How you going to do algebra if you can't figure out 2 + 2 is 4? That's personal development. If you still saying 2 + 2 is 3, it don't matter if you move to Wisconsin. It don't matter if you move to DC, Hotlanta, Oakland. 2 + 2 ain't 3 in none of those places. 2 + 2 is not 3 in China. 2 + 2 is not 3 in India, in Africa. So it don't matter where you go. You got to get the lesson first before you can move on to the next lesson. So the grass is not greener over there. Because eventually when you do get the lesson, you're going to be over there where that grass is greener. And then you know what you're going to be saying? Man, this grass ain't as green. It looked a whole lot greener when I was over there. See, that's a human condition. That is the human condition, y'all. We were born perfect, and as we live our lives, we try to recreate perfection. That's why it's in our blind spots. Perfect angel babies are born through imperfect parents. So we carry the weight of our parents' ignorance, of our parents' fears, of our parents not knowing, not willing, all of the toxic behavior thus far that I've talked about. We carry that weight of our parents. And we carry that weight, y'all, this is deep, and this is what's messed up. We carry that weight as if it's our own. Why you a man hater? Because your mama was a man hater? You don't even know why you don't like him. You just know it's something about him that get on your nerves. But you ain't sure why. You ain't sure what. Because that didn't even, like, that wasn't even yours to begin with. That was your mama's. That was your daddy's. Y'all, it's so deep how messed up we are as human beings. It really is. We are human. That's why I love talking about robots. That's why I love AI. Because they ain't worrying about the pain and all of the stuff. Now, the robots, you tell me one robot that's toxic. Can't name one, can you? See? I know that was a trick question. Y'all probably can't name a robot, period. But with robots, what you see is what you get. It's true. You program them, they learn, but what you see is what you get. So I'm telling y'all, you cannot hold grudges. Now, here's another one. Lack of boundaries. Lack of boundaries. You know anybody that lacks boundaries with you? That means they'll say or do anything irrespective of how you feel about it. You ever have someone where you told them, you tell them how you feel about something and you say, yeah, this is my thoughts on it. I don't agree with it. And that's cool. But then they want to berate you. Well, but I didn't told you. The thing is, I don't have to agree with what you say. I don't have to give you a reason for why I don't agree. I can just politely say I don't agree. But go back to politics, y'all. That's politics. There's no boundary in politics. Really, there is no boundaries. When these politicians are trying to win, that's all they care about. They're trying to win. You better think twice if you're going into politics, because all your dirty draws is going to come out. Look at Herschel Walker. I love talking about Herschel Walker because he got trumped. He got trumped. Trump manipulated him. Okay, toxic behavior. Hello. Trump manipulated him into believing that he was smart enough to run, that he would carry the Republican Party, he would be able to win. Listen, Trump did a number on him because Herschel believed it. Hook, line, and sinker. He wasn't a great communicator. Let's look at all the Herschel Walker stuff. And I'm just talking about Herschel Walker because he's one of the obvious. In fact, he was on TV. Y'all tell me if y'all remember this. He was on TV on a live debate. And instead of saying election, he said erection. Y'all remember that? I promise. I can't make this stuff up, y'all. Now, if you're a politician, you trying to run so you can represent the Republican Party, your constituents in whatever area he was in. And Herschel was lying. He was lying about the number of employees in his business. In fact, he was lying about everything. Herschel Walker got manipulated by Donald Trump. So Herschel Walker was trying to manipulate the people. He was lying. He was guilt tripping them. Well, yeah, I'm black. Y'all should vote for me. I'm a black Republican. And I didn't put my name, and I got these nonprofits, and I done done XYZ, and I done donated all of this money. Herschel, now you know you need to stop lying. You know these internet streets got receipts. And while you didn't got this woman pregnant, and then she had to have an abortion, because you told her to. So you need to stop lying, Herschel Walker. Now, where is he now? Y'all remember that TV show that used to come on, Where Are They Now? We need a Herschel Walker. Where is he now? Because I really need to know. I ain't heard a peep from Herschel. Herschel, where you at? Maybe you can come out when Cat Williams come out. Well, maybe we can get both of y'all on stage together. You can tell us what you've been up to besides getting women's pregnant. Pregnant. For real, for real. I can't make this stuff up, y'all. So lack of boundaries. Politicians have no boundaries when they're trying to win. They will air out all your dirty laundry. Remember Raphael Warnock? They start showing that video. His wife came out. Oh, yeah, we had a fight. He put his hands on me and blah, blah. You know what, Leg? Go sit down. All marriages had their problems. All marriages had their problems. And I guarantee you, every marriage, if it was cameras in their house, you'd be able to pull up footage where they was in each other's face talking about what they gonna do. I guarantee it. That's marriage. I ain't saying it's a good marriage, but I'm saying in America, it's a reason why more than 50% of marriages end in divorce, because we bring in all that toxicity into a marriage. And people with all of them toxic behaviors, different toxic behaviors, triggering this, triggering that, that to me is like politics. It's politics. But if you're going to be a politician, you better be ready. You better be ready for all your skeletons to come out and everything, y'all. So, look, Savage Talk with Keefa. We got more toxic traits. Stick around after the break. We'll be right back.
Honorary Forest Ranger
What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? We back. We got 9 minutes to go. 9 minutos más. Ah, look at that, y'all. My Spanish on point. I got 3 words down at least. But okay, so toxic behaviors. It's a whole lot more. It's so many more, so much more. I'm not even going to have time to go over all of them.
Might need a part 2.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a part 2. But check this out. Here's another one. Playing the victim. You ever have somebody do something messed up to you and then they act like, I was only responding to what you did. You ever heard that? So, I mean, they trying to guilt trip you and they playing the victim. Y'all know that's what politics is. It's the reason why we say, why you politicking? Because we know you jaw-jacking, you just talking. No meaning, no intention behind it. Yeah, you not the victim. You not the victim. I'm leaving you because of all of these things and reasons why it didn't work out. But you're not the victim. I promise you, narcissistic people, that's their MO. That is their MO. Because you know why? The world in their mind, the world and everything in it belongs to them and it's at their beck and call. And anytime you take something away, they will try to guilt trip you. If that doesn't work, they will try to have power over you by calling you names, all kind of stuff, because you took something away from them. And they will say, I'm the victim. That is truly narcissistic behavior. And y'all know that really is a condition. I know people like that. It's crazy. It's crazy to me because how is it possible to have a perspective of something that don't have nothing to do with you, but you feel like you entitled to it? Listen, y'all, I'm going to tell you something because I'm around a lot of military people. Y'all know some folks, if they in the military for 10 years, if they married you in the military for 10 years, your ex is automatically going to get half of your retirement, your military retirement for the rest of their life. Now, see, that's the problem. For the rest of their life or until they remarry. Y'all hear what I said? So that means, let's say you went into the military when you was 20. And just for the sake of this, let's say you come out at 30. You retire at 30, but you've been married the whole time you've been in the military. You came out at 30. That's 10 years. You get divorced. So your spouse is going to get, now look, y'all listen. You 30. Now, when you 60, you fall in love. You done been through all your personal development. You done worked on all your toxic traits. And you find the right one, baby. And y'all really, you know, you want to rock with each other for the rest of your lives. But see, somebody got this monkey on their back because they ex-spouse is going to continue and has been getting half of that military retirement. Ooh-wee, y'all. I'm talking some stuff now because I know the military folks. But if you pick up the phone and call that ex and say, look, it's been 40 years. We was together for 10. It's been 40 years. You've been getting half of my money. that ex is going to play the victim. But I didn't, for that 10 years, look, I'm the reason why you at where you at 60. And I'm going to be the reason why you at where you at when you die. I didn't earn that money. I deserve that money. All of that you put me through when we was together for 10 years, you didn't this. Now look, y'all, some people will disagree with me. But I tell you what, if we survey 100 military men and women, and I'm going to say this happens to men mostly. I don't know. I personally don't know any women that this has happened to where they're paying their ex-spouses 50% of their military retirement. But I want you to think about that. Now, what if you was the spouse and your ex-husband, when he's 55, he hits you up and says, look, you need to let go of my money. I know we was together for 10 years and you've been getting half of my money for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 35, 40 years. You need to let go of my money. What's your ex going to say? Are they going to play the victim? Because I really want to know, what do y'all think? I really need to know. Now, if you was in that position, now see, me personally, because of all of the things I've told you guys about me, I have a deep desire to manifest my life in abundance. And that means for me, I could not, in good energy, good faith, good conscience, good manifestation powers, I could not hold on to a man's money that I divorced. Now, and I'm talking super long term. Now, if we've been married for 10 years and I helped him sustain his military lifestyle or otherwise, yeah, you're gonna pay me something. But we're talking 30, 40 years later. See, I cannot manifest the abundance in my life holding on to his money. I couldn't do it. It goes against everything I know with the laws of attraction, manifesting all of the financial health and wealth in my life. So I personally cannot do it. But I know women who would. I know women that can. I want you to think about that. Which woman are you? Which man are you? This is important for your own life and success. So look, y'all know you've been listening to Savage Talk with Keefa. I've been talking about toxic traits. And it's a whole longer laundry list. So I'm definitely going to have a part 2. But here's what I want you to do. I'm going to invite you to look at your own life. Look at your own life and think about your own fears, because that's where toxic behavior lies. And you got to turn those fears over. That means rip the Band-Aid off and sit with it. Analyze. Why are you afraid of it? Is it real? Or is this you just manifesting your past over and over and over? Because see, once you know that, you have a path to freedom from toxicity. It's Thursday. You've been listening to Savage Talk with Keefa on 101 TKO Radio. Thank you for your listening ear. I hope you gained some valuable insight that you can use to transform your life. I'm Keefa. Savage Talk with Keefa is out.